Moving on, the Kerala Story 2 is eyeing a February 27 release, and before the film hits theatres, it has once again ignited controversy, with many calling it propaganda already. The filmmakers have pushed back against critics, calling out what they say is cynicism and insisting that the film shines a light on real-life horrors that cannot be and should not be ignored. Controversy is not just about the film. Even after victims came forward to share their stories today, a section of society refuses to acknowledge that there are crimes of this nature that are being perpetrated, where under false identity or false notions and intent, women of a particular community are being, attracted into relationships with the name of conversion. Now, at a press briefing earlier today in the national capital, over a dozen women survivors and their families broke their silence, recounting the ordeals that they endured. The opposition calls the Kerala 2 story poisonous and propaganda, a threat to secularism, quote. While in defense, the filmmaker says that disbelief without examination is dangerous. The opposition claims the film is a bid to incite hatred and create communal tensions. The defense counters that, saying that its aim is just to expose alleged organized targeting of Hindu girls. And in Kerala, this has been the case of Christian girls as well. The opposition further argues the film portrays exaggerated or false love jihad incidents. Filmmakers counter it by saying that it is exposing an organized racket which is operating in the shadows, highlighting networks and incidents they say have been largely ignored or unnoticed. Opposition claims the film tarnishes the state's image, particularly Kerala's image of religious harmony, while the filmmaker says the truth may be uncomfortable, but it must be heard. So remember, the story originally was about 3 Hindu women who fell victim to deceptive relationships and forced conversions. In the second movie, which is the sequel of sorts, the narrative then reaches states like Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, and the focus is also on a plot not just of radicalization and conversion, but of a potential Islamic takeover in India over the next 25 years. It is referring to some ways about some material that has been found by some now banned organizations where they wanted to turn India into an Islamic caliphate by 2047. So the big question we're asking today is just this. Forget politics, forget the fact that this is about one state or other states, or where you stand when it comes to your belief over the issue. But are victims' voices not enough? At the end of the day, they are the ones who have spoken, not just today, but earlier too, in states like Kerala. That's coming up.
अगर हम इन विक्टिम्स के साथ संवेदना के साथ नहीं जुड़ सकते, तो कहाँ है हमारी आत्मा?
मेरे को अगर यहाँ पे पति नहीं बनाया और मुस्लिम धर्म अगर हिंदू धर्म छोड़ के मुस्लिम धर्म में नहीं आई, तो तेरे और तेरे बेटी को जान से ख़त्म कर देंगे।
ഇല്ല, ഞാൻ കാണാനും പോകുന്നില്ല, ഈ കാണാൻ താല്പര്യമില്ല, കാണുന്നവര് കാണുക, കാണാൻ താല്പര്യമില്ലെങ്കിൽ കാണണം.
Once again, victims of alleged love jihad cases have come out. This is not the first time, mind you. They have spoken out in the past as well. Why is it that a large section of society is refusing to accept that these cases exist? Even if there is one case, it is important enough. Let's take that to our guest joining us. Rashmi Samant is activist joining us. Kasturi Shankar, actor. Shehzad Khan, actor, also with us. Kasturi, I want to begin with you as somebody from the industry. What do you make of these constant attacks that movies like Kerala Story get? Not the first time. The sequel is also getting the same attacks as it has faced in the past. But it's not just Kerala Story, right? Anything that doesn't conform to a stated norm and to an idea that was prevalent, let's say, 10, 20 years ago, just routinely gets brandished as propaganda. I mean, people had the nerve to call even Kashmir Files propaganda, even though all of it is very well documented.
Let's talk about the veracity of the claims in the movie and how exaggerated or cinematized they are in the movie later. But to start with your question, it's not just Kerala Story 2 today. Even movies which have stated that they are a complete work of fiction, which according to certain lobbies, certain fringe elements, portray them or their interests in a questionable manner, have been acted against. Like Padmavati, for instance, got so much grief. Vishwarupam, Kamal Hassan's movie, got so much grief from Muslim lobbies, let me add. And all this happens by watching the trailer. Nothing happens. Nobody waits till the movie is
comes
actually watched, and nobody wants to. And this is, indirectly, it's also a slur on the CBFC, because nobody gives a damn about what the CBFC has seen and certified. It's not a one-man committee. There are people from all walks of society who are certifying a movie, but no. We need to get our publicity. We need to get our names out. We need to be seen as activists when a movie comes out. These people, like for instance now, Kerala Story 2, it shows certain objectionable scenes by their words, right? By people who object. The beef eating scene, for instance, it's controversial or sensitive, let's say. And there are other scenes where it's a story of three girls, clearly from the trailer. And so, okay, definitely a lot of people sentiments will be ruffled, okay, but I want to ask, what did these people do before? When there was a girl found in a refrigerator cut into pieces, when there was a girl thrown in a suitcase in different parts of Delhi's rivers, where were these people? What happened to their activism? Now that a movie comes out, suddenly all
Yeah.
these people have seen this trailer. So it's the easiest thing to pick on. I say, let it even be propaganda. I don't think it is. See, that's what's hurting them. If they said this is a fiction movie, this is a work of fiction, it does not refer to anyone living or dead, they would have nothing to say. But because it says it is based on true incidents, it's a cinematization based on true incidents, the truth is hurting them. The
No,
fact
all of
that
these
this-
cases, I just only beg to redraw our attention to the fact that the fact that there have been cases where women have been lured into relationships, either under false pretenses or under false identity, I don't think it's a debatable issue anymore. And anybody who's continuing to deny, despite the fact that there have been stories after stories, not just from Kerala, mind you, but from UP, for example, there is an entire racket that was busted where there were rate cards according to the caste of the girl who was to be converted allegedly. These are all investigations that have been unearthed. There are victims that I spoke to, for example, that came from UP about how she was lured into a relationship. And the fundamental or the ultimate agenda of these relationships is to convert a non-Muslim girl to the Muslim faith. So, first of all, I think there is a denial of the fact that these cases exist. Only then can you oppose a movie based on those cases. I'll come to the issue of Kerala per se separately. The Chief Minister there has an issue about how his state is being represented. Fair issue. He may have his own contentions on the movie. But nobody can say that these cases are not true anymore. Shehzad Khan, is it time to accept that yes, these are social realities?
Thank you very much for having me on your debate. I'm sorry, I'm just landed. I'm sitting at the airport. See, there are both sides of the coin. अगर एक सिक्के में चिट भी है तो पट भी है. अगर आप कह रही हैं कि ऐसी चीजें होती हैं एक मजहब की तरफ से लड़कियों के साथ, तो दूसरे मजहब की तरफ से लड़कों के साथ भी ऐसा हुआ है. पिछले साल ही तेलंगाना में एक हिंदू सनातनी बच्ची ने एक मुसलमान लड़के को मार दिया. उसके बाद एक और केस हुआ जिसमें एक सनातनी लड़की ने के पूरे परिवार ने एक मुसलमान लड़के के टुकड़े टुकड़े कर दिए. तो ये सब चीजों को हमको सुधारने का वक्त है या हमें इसको उछालने का वक्त है? और ये हम सब जो पढ़े लिखे हैं और जो थोड़ा बहुत भी ज्ञान रखते हैं वो अच्छी तरह से जानते हैं कि जब कभी इलेक्शंस आते हैं तो एक प्रोपेगेंडा पार्टी है. जब तक वो हमारे सनातनी भाइयों को मुसलमानों के नाम से नहीं डराएंगे तब तक उनको वोट नहीं मिलेंगे. तो इसीलिए मैं कहता हूँ, और इससे पहले भी इसकी जो पार्ट 1 आई थी उसमें उन्होंने 30,000 दिखाए थे, जबकि वो हाई कोर्ट ने ऑब्जेक्शन जाके उन्होंने 3 कर दिया। तो इस किस्म का प्रोपेगेंडा जो है बहुत हो गया है, इनको करने दीजिए। उससे पहले कोई उदयपुर फाइल्स आई थी, उसके पहले कोई और। ये मैं कह रहा हूँ कि अगर किसी में अभी एक बहुत जल्दी एक साहब जो है वो एप्स्टीन फाइल्स बनाने वाले हैं, मैं देखना चाहता हूँ कि एप्स्टीन फाइल्स को रिलीज होने देते हैं कि नहीं। उसके बाद
एप्स्टीन फाइल्स भी रिलीज होनी चाहिए, उसको भी नहीं रोका जाना चाहिए। बट पॉइंट यहाँ पे ये है, आपने बात करी, आपने बात
बीबीसी की डॉक्यूमेंट्री क्यों रोक दी गई, आप बताइए। आप इस पे आप लोग इस पे चिल्ला पुकार कर रहे हैं। बीबीसी ने एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाई, उसके ऊपर उसको रोक दिया गया।
नहीं, वो तो उस डॉक्यूमेंट्री को आप इस मूवी से कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते ना, क्योंकि वो है एक फॉरेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की डॉक्यूमेंट्री, कोट एंड कोट डॉक्यूमेंट्री।
देखिए फॉरेन
ये है एक इंडियन मूवी मेड बाय इंडियंस, मेड इन इंडिया, प्लस सर्टिफाइड बाय द सीबीएफसी।
कोई चीज जो है अगर किसी ने पिक्चर बनाई है, चाहे फॉरेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो, अगर वो कुछ दिखा रहा है, जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि यह इसमें कुछ केसेस है, आप लोग कह रहे हैं कि ऐसे केसेस हुए हैं, ठीक है, तो वैसे बीबीसी की भी डॉक्यूमेंट्री को दिखाना चाहिए।
नहीं, तो बीबीसी की डॉक्यूमेंट्री को रोकने से पहले भी तो केरला स्टोरी आई थी, तब क्यों अपोज किया था इसको?
एग्जैक्टली,
उससे पहले भी तो कश्मीर फाइल्स आई थी, तो तब क्यों अपोज किया था?
कश्मीर फाइल्स भी कश्मीर देखिए, बॉलीवुड जो है वो 2 गुटों में बटा हुआ है। एक जो है जो एंटरटेनमेंट वुड है, और दूसरा जो है वो एक एजेंडा वुड है। वो एक एजेंडा लेके चलता है, जिनको एक बहुत ही बड़ी हमारे देश की बड़ी पार्टी जो है वो फाइनेंस करती है, वो सब इनको बढ़ावा देती है। तो इट्स जस्ट हमें ये सब चीजें छोड़ के हमें उसके बारे में सोचना चाहिए कि एआई में, अभी एआई का एग्जीबिशन हुआ था, उसमें चाइनीज कुत्ते को हमने बता दिया कि गलगोटिया का कुत्ता है ये।
हाँ, तो वो तो यूनिवर्सिटी की प्रॉब्लम है ना सर, उससे आप इस इशू को कंपेयर ना कीजिए। माय मेन पॉइंट इज जस्ट दिस, आपने बोला दैट देयर इज वायलेंस, 1 सेकंड सर, आपने बोला देयर इज वायलेंस which is perpetrated by Hindus on Muslims. I don't think anybody is denying that, and many of those violence may also be triggered by communal tensions or communal reasons. I don't think anybody will deny that. This particular story is about
most of it is triggered by the
this particular story is about an angle of conversion which is targeting either Christian girls or Hindu girls. There is a history of such cases, plus outside of Kerala a history has emerged. So my main contention is, how long are people going to say these cases don't exist? Even if one such case exists and somebody wants to make a movie on that, and there are plenty movies that have been made on one case alone to send a larger, national narrative or a larger societal message, nobody should object to it. So Rashmi, what is it about these movies that are making people so uncomfortable? I think at the core of it is denying the reality that these cases exist. Earlier it was easy to deny quote unquote love jihad cases. Now it's become impossible to deny these cases.
Absolutely, Shivani. Shivani, there's a worldwide trend of predatory proselytization and usual of sexual violence to target women. And this is not just something that's been happening in India. I studied at Oxford, where the first of grooming gangs were caught, which was a religiously motivated attempt to groom underage girls belonging to the Christian, Hindu, and Sikh community in a bid to convert them. So there was that. I'll give you another example. In 2018, Nadia Murad was awarded a Nobel in Peace. She is a survivor of sexual violence by the Islamic State, the ISIS. But her talks around the world have been cancelled at the very last minute, citing Islamophobia, citing propaganda. But it does not take away from her experience. It does not take away from the reality of the use of predatory proselytization and sexual violence against women, which is religiously motivated.
Now, interesting you mentioned this, Rashmi, because I just want to use what you said to highlight even further that the use of sex slaves, particularly Yazidi women, as sex slaves by the ISIS is again very well documented.
Absolutely.
But when
Shivani.
it doesn't suit your agenda or propaganda, your agenda and propaganda, then you will cancel even a female victim's voice, as was the case that you mentioned. And in this case too, there are women and their family who have come out to say, yes, this happened to us. Why are we denying them their agency to speak?
Absolutely, Shivani. What is happening right now is that victimhood is being weaponized in a way to, subdue voices which are coming out, voices which are trying to express and convey their lived realities, as to warn other women from the realities of predatory proselytization. I think this movie is based on real stories, as was Kerala Stories 1, wherein women were trafficked. They were brainwashed and trafficked to another country under similar guise. And this is unfortunately the dark underbelly of our society. When the Galgotia University case happened, everybody, irrespective of ideology, came out and renounced and denounced the university and called them out. I think all Muslims, good, who are in our society, who have contributed to our society in different fields, must come out and denounce predatory proselytization, because it continues to be the dark underbelly of our society. A stop on the way to the sort of true secularism that we need. We need to.
I think there's also an attempt to kind of suggest that there will not be a truce or peace in India if you talk about these issues. And I think hinging peace in India or secularism, quote unquote, and togetherness on whether I can even talk about a certain issue or not in itself is a faulty premise to begin with. Peace and truce between communities cannot be so fickle that, there will be, everybody keeps saying there will be hatred, there will be communal violence if you talk about something. I'm sorry, you cannot silence people, Kasturi, all the time by dangling this threat that if you speak about something, oh, there will be tension, there will be, riots, or there will be enmity. If the issue is true and correct, it must be spoken about.
Right. In fact, I'm going to take that thread and actually rebut Mr. Shehzad Khan when he said, why was this not banned? Why was that not banned? I'd like to remind him that in this country, Satanic Verses, which is a work of fiction written by a Muslim himself, was banned. The Da Vinci Code, the movie has not seen the light of its day here. The Last Temptation of Christ was banned. Even a movie called Lipstick in My Burqa initially was not screened for the same reasons that Mr. Shehzad Khan quoted. In this case, the CBFC thought it's sensitive in certain cases. We don't want it. Actually feared. It feared riots from a certain community. Excuse me, sir, please don't interrupt. Excuse me, I'm talking.
And nothing besides lies.
Hello, sir. Yeah,
yes.
I'm sure you can hear me out. So the point I'm trying to make is
for a long time.
No, once again, she's just started speaking. 1 second, sir. All of you have got your own amount of time. 1 second, let her finish. I'll come to you. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I have to make 2 points. The first point I'm making is governments in India have historically taken into account sensitivity of situations. In fact, a lot of decisions have been have actually acknowledged the fear against Muslim outrage.
Yeah.
When the bomb blast happened in Mumbai, Sharad Pawar took a call and thought, okay, we will create a 13th bomb blast because otherwise it's going to look very bad and there will be riots. Why? So the root cause is there. Why? We have to think why. This is number one. And number two, as Rashmi ji just said, it's getting weaponized to the point of polarization. This is not a government doing something. This is society standing up for its rights. In Telangana right now, where I live, a woman and her locality has been pelted with stones for playing a religious song, for playing a Durga Maja ki bhajan. That's where it started. So is this the kind of freedom of speech that Mr. Shehzad Khan is
talking about?
Okay. Shehzad now. I have 30 seconds left. Yes, Mr. Shehzad.
Yeah.
There are so many Muslims who are not given flats in societies.
Okay,
There are
this
so
is
many societies
exactly
which
what
don't
you
give
do,
flats to
sir.
Muslims.
You are being a very bad representative of your mazhab if this is what you do. If
Okay,
you
let
will
him speak.
not let a woman have
Ma'am,
her
you have
time
been
to
speaking
speak,
long. I am
then what
sitting
is
at the
to say
airport. I
about
can't
the
hear
rest of
properly
your
what I
community?
I have
can
limited
not
time.
even let us
Kasturi ji, I
speak.
have limited time. Let him have his say. Yes.
I would like to tell the panelists, the honorable panelists, that there are so many societies all over Mumbai which don't give flats to Muslims. Why doesn't somebody make a film on that? Why
Why don't
doesn't these
they?
issues get cleared?
They should.
Nobody says anything.
But
Why
who's
is
stopping
why
them from making a movie about this?
आप बनाइए ना।
exactly? Even if the film is released, the government will not let it made. Even if the film is made, the government will not let it get released. They're only doing things which should suit their agenda. Until the time
Okay.
the Muslims are there, there's a certain party which is winning.
This
There are no
is-
Muslims, they will not have any seat anywhere. They
Sir,
will not fight against
I
their own
don't
caste,
think
but
that we
Muslims are
should.
the punching
I
bag.
don't know. I take your view, but I don't think this is linked to elections or who is winning or not winning.
It is to the
Yes,
elections,
to a
madam.
certain
It
extent.
is linked to the elections.
Shivani,
There's
Sir,
the
none of
elections
these
in West
movies,
Bengal.
in this
sir,
country
none
when
of
there was
these
election
movies
time.
win any elections for any party. I'm sorry to say, they are not
Yes.
going to be vote catchers.
No.
Uh,
This is always near the elections when they make such films, and they
There is an
you have
election
seen it
every 6
previously
months
also?
somewhere in India. So that
No.
is not a very good defense of
In
why such a
Bengal, there are
movie
elections.
should
There are a
be
lot of
made
places
or
where there are
not be made.
by-elections.
Fundamentally, what is a good argument for stopping such a movie is my fundamental question. Rashmi, I'll give you final 10 seconds. Yes, there is a climate where such movies can be made today. But is a certain section of the industry refusing to accept their own making movies on these topics? Very quickly, I have 20 seconds.
Shivani, I think making a genre of movies like this, you automatically become an untouchable within the industry. And kudos for producers and directors to take the brunt of such, discrimination to go on and make such movies. And as long as we continue to hold each other hostage, saying if you talk about this, then it's a threat to secularism, then there can be no real secularism in this
India.
country.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Time for a very short break. News and updates will continue in just a bit. Thanks a lot for watching.